When the A7 IV is wittily goated, we'd expect the release of the A7 V to be wittily goated as well. With the long-awaited release rapidly approaching, my anticipation for a new camera is growing. Hey, I'm Tanner from Valley Films. Today I'm diving into the upcoming Sony A7 V and what I'm hoping to see from the long-awaited release and how it can finally fill a major gap in my camera lineup. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. It lets us know that we're doing something right and you won't miss the full review when this camera drops. I've been using, and let's be honest, abusing my A7 IV for the last year and a half. It's been an incredible all-around camera, but I'm ready to add something new to the kit. Sony's current lineup has a bunch of great bodies, but nothing that really hits the sweet spot I'm looking for. If you missed my full A7 IV review, here's a quick summary. The pros: 33 megapixels, goated, seriously. I love 33 megapixels. Focus bracketing, they just added that in a firmware update, so if you're taking macro shots or doing focus stacking, it's built into the camera. Compared to the A7 III, the ergonomics feel great, and it was really an upgrade to switch from a small plastic body to this bigger, chunkier, more durable feeling body. It uses the universal Sony batteries that have been in every camera since the A7 III. I think it's super easy having a one battery system. It's got a solid flip screen on the back, which the A7 III also didn't have, the flip out, and they didn't include on the A1, which is a little weird. But we're happy to have the flip screen for shooting up high, shooting down low, shooting to the side, whatever you use it for. It's got great video profiles and log options. I can match this to the A7S III super easily in a post-production workflow, whether it's a B cam or a C cam. It matches what we have very nicely. The A7 IV is also super travel friendly. If you're looking to take a one camera that can do a little bit of everything when you travel, keep a lightweight setup, this plus a 24-70 or maybe a 24-105, gonna do it really good. The autofocus is really good. It's an upgrade above the A7 III. And did I mention the 33 megapixels? Because holy, these freaking photos are amazing. Some of the things I was hesitant about buying this camera about was the 10 frames a second stills. The A7 III had 10 FPS, and a lot of the other products in the market have up to 20 frames electronically. It doesn't have that, and I was kind of bummed out by that. Another thing is the 4K 60 has crop, which isn't really a big deal for your everyday shooter, but if you're at a wedding and you're shooting on a 35 and you crop to a 50, it's gonna change the look of your images and you might need to switch lenses, which is just more hassle. Another thing is I noticed about the whole Sony ecosystem, it doesn't really have anamorphic support. Now, someone who has just purchased an anamorphic lens has been using it more on more projects and to take stills. I can't de-squeeze the images in camera. I have to use an external monitor for that. That's kind of stinky. And lastly, the most notable thing is that it gets warm under pressure very quickly. I've noticed if you film in certain frame rates or certain codecs, you're gonna see this camera overheat. I don't see it in a studio setting. I've seen it outside sometimes, and that's only if we're using this as a main camera, which basically never happens. You're also not gonna overheat in stills mode, so you don't have to worry about that. So let's break it down. Why haven't I upgraded yet, even though there's a ton of powerful Sony cameras on the table? Let's talk about the A9 III. It's a full frame global shutter that can shoot 120 frames a second, stills raw. That's unreal. But I feel like I don't shoot enough elite sports to justify the $8,500 Canadian price tag. Also, jumping back to a 24 megapixel sensor feels like a step backwards from the 33 megapixels. So it's kind of like, it goes so much faster, but I don't need that much faster, and I'm going down in resolution. So it's like, the pros aren't really the best, the cons aren't really the best either. So it's really expensive for $8,500. Now, talking about the A1 Mark II, Sony's Golden Boy has 50 megapixels at 30 frames a second. That hits everything that I want. I want the higher resolution, and I want high frame rates, 8K video. It's got everything. But the file sizes are insane, and it feels like it would just be a little too much for our typical workflow, a little overkill. I even think 33 megapixels is overkill. But 50 megapixels at 30 frames a second, I think is just ridiculous, especially when I have to hand off hard drives and hard drives and hard drives of content at the end of the day to my clients who want the raw photos. At the same time, that's coming in at like an $8,750 price tag, and for like $2 grand, $3 grand that this was, it's like a quarter of the price of an A1 Mark II. So 4 times the price, not really 4 times the value. I didn't want to spend the money on it. It's fine. Lastly, like there's the A7R series. They have insane resolution and dynamic range, but it's still locked at that horrifying 10 frames a second. I said it before and I'll say it again. 10 frames a second is my biggest gripe about the A7 IV. When I'm out shooting next to friends, whether it's the Canon R6 series or the Nikon Z6 series, I feel like the only one left out of the 20 frames a second club. Even Canon's entry-level R50 and R10 outpace Sony's prosumer lineup. This thing is getting outpaced by a $1,000 crop frame camera. It's frustrating. I feel like I'm constantly missing that extra frame in between, and I really felt like my only options were to do one of two things. One, drop thousands more for a high-end Sony camera that I'm not gonna really appreciate. Or two, jump ship to Canon because almost all of their cameras are shooting over 20 frames electronically now. That's why, to me, the A7V matters. It's my last hope to stay in the Sony system and finally get the speed I've been waiting for. So what do I want to see from the Sony A7V? Well, obviously it's gonna be 20 frames a second stills, minimum. Let me stop feeling like a slow shooter on the court. Even the entry-level cameras have this now. It's time. I want to keep the 33 megapixel sensor or improve it responsibly. To me, like 33 megapixels is a sweet spot. There's talk of a new 44 megapixel sensor, which sounds great, but higher resolution and high speeds don't really go together for the price tag that I'm willing to pay for a camera like this. So if we do get a 44 megapixel camera, I feel like we won't get it upgraded in the frames a second as well for a reasonable amount. If this Sony A7V comes out and it's about $4,500, that's pushing it for me. 44 megapixels, 15 frames a second maybe. We're there, we're getting closer. I'd prefer to keep the 33 megapixels and then jump up to a higher frame rate. That's just me. One of the other things is I still would love to see some better ergonomics from the Sony system. That is one of the biggest gripes I'm seeing from a lot of creators on this platform, is that the Sony bodies feel small. And it's true, Sony is shy about making beefy mirrorless camera bodies. A chunkier grip and improved dials would be clutch. I really miss the old DSLR style where you have the super big body and the super deep grips. I know the mirrorless systems started to be more compact and more affordable and more portable, but for people who do this for a living, I don't think that really matters as much. I'd rather have something that feels good in the hand for 4, 8, 12 hours a day than, oh my gosh, it's so cute and skinny. I'd also love to see an upgraded EVF. After using the A7S3's EVF, the A7 IV just feels a little behind. A sharper, brighter viewfinder would go a long way. The A7S III has one of the best EVFs in the game, according to many who have used multiple cameras. They said the A7S III has the crystal clear, largest, most relaxing viewfinder. They don't feel strained, it just looks beautiful. For video specs, I'm actually happy with the current specs in this camera. If 4K 60 remains cropped, I don't really care. There is rumors that we'll get 4K 120 with that 44 megapixel sensor. So that leaves a lot of questions. Okay, we're getting 4K 120, we're getting higher resolution. What are we sacrificing here? It's gonna be frames per second. Maybe we'll get 8K 24. Maybe that's what we'll get. I don't care about 8K, it's overkill. Other than those things, I don't think we should take anything away. Keep everything we loved about the A7 IV. This should just be a true evolution to the next tier in the lineup of the A7 lineup. Ultimately, I don't want anything from this camera lineup to be taken away. I want it to be the next step in the evolution of this product line. It should be an evolution, not a trade-off, and we've seen that with the A7S series from one generation to the next, that it's a true upgrade, you're not sacrificing anything. Same with the A7R series. Each iteration gets a bigger sensor, faster readout, better AI autofocus, all the bells and whistles. I don't think we're gonna miss anything from the A7 IV, honestly, but I do wanna see 20 frames a second. That's what I want, that's all I want. I'm seriously hyped to see what the A7 V brings. It has a chance to finally balance the speed, the resolution, and the usability, and be the true successor to the A7 IV that a lot of us, me personally, are hoping for. Drop a comment with what you're hoping Sony brings to the table, or if you're already jump ship to another brand. And if you want to be the first to catch my hands-on review and unboxing video with the A7 V once it drops, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.